Hello, everybody. Welcome. If you can hear the sound of my voice, if you could raise your hand, which is should be under reactions on the bottom of your screen. Okay, perfect. Yay. Thank you. So if you're new here, this is this is Laurel, and this is my monthly support call. We meet on the first Wednesday of every month at this time. I haven't scheduled out for next year yet, but I think it will continue to be this time. And I'm so glad that you decided to join us. If you have not done a support call before, that is exactly what this is an opportunity to request support and also an opportunity to ask questions. If you have questions about the Sedona method, I will do the best to answer them with my ability. I am a certified Sedona method coach under Hale and have been using this technique since 2018. So I definitely appreciate the benefit that it's made in my life and the opportunity to facilitate with others. If you have any questions about what it's like using this technique on your own, please feel free to ask those questions. And if you have any gains, if this has made a difference in your life and you want to share to inspire others so they can see what's possible, you're invited to do that as well. We have a smaller group so far. So if you have questions or any of the above, there should be ample time for that. And I think that's it. Oh, I do record these calls and post them on my YouTube page, which is under my name, Laurel Askew. Pretty easy to find it. So if we've had a release together and you want to reference back, it's really helpful to listen to past recordings. And there's a bunch of other ones there too. I think that's it for housekeeping. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and get started and people will come and go as they do. I know it's kind of a busy time of the year for many of us, so I'm glad that you found time to join us. So we'll get started. Hey, Betty. How you doing?
Good. How are you? Hi, Lauren.
I'm doing great.
Okay, I was wondering if you could help me with something.
Okay.
I am noticing a pattern where a lot of people are trying to control me,
Mm.
and then I'm resisting that.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and this is just something that I noticed recently.
Okay.
And I was wondering if you could help me let go of that. I'm not sure if I subconsciously want to be controlled by them or what's happening, but there's definitely a lot of people that are trying to control me.
Yeah, and is that a recent thing?
Well, I just noticed that, but I believe that just because of my nature, people have been trying to control me for a while.
Okay. And what is it about your nature?
Well, I just, kind of stay away and keep to myself.
Okay.
And then people just come and try to tell me what to do or not to do um or get into my space and then I resist that.
And when you say you resist being controlled, what does that resistance look like?
No.
What's that?
It feels like a no. Just
Okay.
yeah, that's the best I can describe it.
And is there any part of you that is judging that no?
I, I guess yes.
Okay. So is there a part of you that thinks that you should respond in a different way?
Yeah, I guess I don't know. All I know is that I can tell that I am resisting and saying no to their control. And then at moments I want to control them back because they are
Okay.
controlling me.
Okay, there we go. Okay. Because I think, just to say, the reason I was asking a lot of questions is if somebody's trying to control you, it's very natural to not want to be controlled. It's fine to say no. It's fine to resist somebody trying to control you. I think all those things are very natural, and but the wanting to control them back, that's something that I think we could do something around that.
Yeah, it's a sense of wanting them to be different. So I would say that's wanting to control, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. And how often is this happening? Just like
Oh,
a everyday
daily.
thing?
Yeah,
Daily.
daily.
Okay. Sounds like you've got a lot to maneuver in your life. Um, yeah. Okay. And yeah, let's just get started. So can notice maybe it's the last time that this happened.
Yeah,
Just noticing this experience of people trying to control you. And just
yeah.
allowing yourself to focus on that. Did you say something?
Not me, somebody else.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and mute that. Um, just notice that experience. Notice how persistent it is. Just
Yeah,
allowing yourself to focus on that. And this sense of being controlled, wanting to control, just both sides there. Could you notice any thoughts that arise around that experience?
well, I'm noticing resistance to it.
Yeah, so notice how much you resist it.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. And notice how that feels to resist so much.
Yeah, it takes a lot of effort.
Yeah. Do you feel exhausted at all by all that effort?
Yeah,
Yeah. So notice how exhausted you feel.
yeah.
Yeah. And notice any of that judgment around them and why they're acting this way or anything about yourself around what you're doing or not doing.
Yes, I want to change them. And then I'm also resisting the way I react as well.
Mm-hmm. So could you welcome all of that?
Yes.
Just kind of, it's almost like, I don't know, we're just gathering all this stuff that's connected to this apparent problem, all the layers, noticing in your body how it makes you feel to resist so much. And in addition to the wanting to control them back, is there also a sense of wanting to protect yourself, of wanting to be safe from this?
Yes, actually, I was just going to say that there is an aspect of fear here as well.
Yeah. So noticing how much it feels like you need to protect yourself from this, like of being controlled.
Yes.
Yeah. Just noticing all of that. And when you feel like you've noticed and welcomed it, I invite you to say yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. And then could you also notice how much you would like this to be different?
Yes.
How much you would like this to stop or
Yes.
change?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any wanting to get rid of.
Yes.
Mhm. And is there any sense at all of attachment? Is there?
Yes.
Okay. Could you welcome that too?
Yes.
Good. Anything that you're holding on to, even this idea that it's going to keep continuing.
Yes.
Noticing that. So noticing the anything that you're attached to, as well as the aversion. The holding close, and then even the wanting to protect, holding close, and then the pushing away, wanting to get rid of the resistance.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, just noticing both sides. And when you feel like you've welcomed both of those different sides, I invite you to say yes.
Yes.
Good. And now, could you notice what feels personal? Anything that it feels like this is about you and who you are. Notice any sense of me or mine.
Yes.
Yeah. And as well as them or theirs.
Yes.
Yeah. And notice any identification with this experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, that this is Betty's experience. And Betty's being treated in this way.
Yeah. It seems like I'm definitely making it personal. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
taking it personal. Yes.
Yeah. And could you notice how personal it feels?
Yeah. Yes.
And sometimes these things that, hurt us or cause disruption in our life, we hold on to them even more and they feel even more like they're who we are. This is really mine. This is my suffering. This is my experience. So notice if
Yeah.
that feels true here.
Yes. That's
Yeah. But just allowing that as much as it feels personal, as much as it feels like this is part of who Betty is, what she's about, any sense of identity. Could
yes.
you, yeah, just notice how much it feels that way.
Yeah. Yes. I
Good,
noticed. Yes.
good. And now, what would it be like if all that dissolved? This whole story around control, all that melted away.
It would be great.
So just for now, could you welcome that possibility?
Yes.
And you know what? We can't do anything about these apparent other people. So we're just going to like push them to the side. We can't do anything about them. We would love for them to behave, in a way that feels better. But for just for now, just push them aside. And I invite you to imagine if any of this happened, and hopefully it doesn't, but just in case, how you might respond in a way that is freer, in a way that is beyond control or being controlled, just simply allowing what is to be.
Yes.
Yeah, could you welcome what that would feel like?
Yes.
To be in a sense of peace, no matter what is happening around you.
Yes.
And yeah, no matter what they're saying or doing, can you be open to this possibility of just accepting what is?
Yes.
Yeah, Could you welcome allowing what is to be?
Yes.
And could you allow any remaining sense of control to be set free? This illusion of control isn't even, it's really just a story.
Yes.
Could you allow that story to be set free?
Yes.
Yeah. And then could you welcome this vision of Betty being
Yes.
as freedom, as peace, as
Yes.
oneness with all that is, regardless of what's happening? Could you welcome that?
Yes.
Beautiful. So what's here now, Betty?
Peace, actually.
Wonderful.
That was great. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
you're so welcome. And may you continue to welcome the peace that's here always.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for being here.
Thank you again.
You're so welcome. All right, Ronnie.
Hello, good evening for me, maybe good morning for you, good afternoon.
Good evening.
How
Hi, how are
do you do?
you?
Yeah, in general, I'm feeling good.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
Mhm.
What 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 is the other piece?
The thing is that next week, same day, I have to go
Uh-huh.
to court
Okay.
to talk with my ex again about financial situations
Mm-hmm.
and about selling the properties with or without tenants. Uh, And what's inside of me is that the communication, yeah, we have to go to court. So the communication is not coming or going like I want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And about one property, I don't know exactly what I should do now to sell it
Mm.
with the tenants or sell it sometimes without the tenants. So I'm a little bit in between.
Okay. So is that what you're trying to decide? Is that what you want support on? Is
Yeah,
deciding whether
I want to have a good decision. Of course, it has something to do with control. If I'm there to say, okay, the thing is that 1 year ago we went also to court, and then we said, okay, we want to sell all the properties with the tenants. And just at the last day before everything was settled, my ex said, no, no, I want to sell without the tenants. And I just have been talking with the realtor. It's maybe possible, but it's not really. Uh, I don't know if it will be the right decision to do some of this with my ex because with everything that I'm doing, she is not how to say that on one line with me. She uh, thinks that I'm making. How to say that? Don't know. Don't know exactly how to say that in English. That I make. Um, she makes me wrong. Maybe that's the most um,
mm-hmm. Would it be
the
no
best way
matter what
to say it.
if you said I want to sell it without the tenants, then she would just say, well, I want to sell it with, like she's just trying to. go against you? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know exactly some of this what she wants and how to go on with it.
Hmm.
So that's a kind of uh, talk inside of my head about do we want to go to the left? What do we want to go to the right? And then go to the left, and I think that's the best thing. And then some other uh, thing pops up, and then I think, okay, maybe it's better to go to the right. So I cannot make a decision. That's the thing.
Yeah. And you said you're going to court next week?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you think about this situation, what's here right now?
Mm. If I look inside my head or inside my thinking, then there's a lot of unclarity.
Hmm. And is that not being clear? Is that because you think you're going to make the wrong decision?
Mm. No, it's because I thought maybe 2 months ago the right decision is just to do what we said, and the judge did also right, is to sell everything with tenants.
Okay. So why are
And
you
then
questioning that now?
mm, because I just have been talking with a realtor,
Uh-huh.
and he says it's possible, but it's only one realtor. All the others says it's not possible and it will take really a long time. And this one says it's possible, um, but then I have to talk with the tenants again. Mm. And if I'm doing it also with this property, then maybe I also have to do it with the other two properties. That's making a lot of hustle. So I'm not sure in that thing.
Do you want to do like a pro and con?
The pro and cons for that.
Yeah. So like, or it's either pros and cons or advantages and disadvantages. So it would be either one that you wanted, you would pick whatever one. We would go back and forth. If you want to sell it with the tenants, then we would say, okay, what's an advantage to doing that? What's a disadvantage? And then we would notice what
Yeah,
wanting was attached to it, and then we would let go of both.
that's good.
Do you want to try that?
Yes.
And which one do you want to do? Selling it with the tenants or without?
Uh, Without.
Okay. So what is an advantage to selling your properties without tenants?
That we will get more money out of selling it.
Okay. And is there any wanting attached to that? But yeah. Is there any wanting attached to we'll get more money? Wanting approval,
Mm.
control, security, separation of oneness.
There's some security
Mm-hmm.
and also control.
Okay. So could you notice that wanting security? Could you welcome that?
Yes, I can.
Okay. And then this wanting security, knowing that it doesn't actually help us be more secure, could you let that wanting go as best as you can?
Yes, I can.
Okay. And then could you notice this wanting control?
Yes,
And then just for now, could you let that go?
can do that also. There's also one, it's not really one thing, but there's also really a lot of insecurity.
Okay, yeah. Could you notice that insecurity?
Yes, I can.
And just allowing it to be here as much as it is.
Yes, I can.
And then just for now, could you set that free?
Yes, I can.
Okay, beautiful. And then this advantage of I'll get more money.
Mhm.
Could you let that go too?
Can I what?
Any attachment to, wanting to get more money, could you release that attachment?
Yes, I can.
Beautiful. And then what's a disadvantage to selling the properties without tenants?
Is that it is also a lot of hustle.
Hmm.
Um, we need to talk with the tenants to look for another property where they can get in, and they also need to like it. And when we will have that property, so a similar property that's insecure, and um, was also a disadvantage is that,
One thing at a time here.
sorry,
So
sorry.
just, it's okay. It's like there's a lot of disadvantages. So just noticing the hassle, all
Yes.
the extra effort and hassle it might take.
Mhm.
Could you just simply welcome that?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. And then is there any wanting connected to that, what appears to be a hassle?
You're wanting it not to be a hassle.
So maybe some control?
Mm, it also has to do with a lot of insecurity,
Okay.
and also, of course, control. Yeah.
Yeah. You said and security. Um,
Mm.
so could you notice any sense of wanting to control, like what this experience is going to be like, wanting it to be easier, wanting it to look a certain way,
Yes, I
noticing
can.
yeah, noticing that control. And then just for now, could you just let that go? It's just a story, just a idea of what it might be. Could you
Mhm.
release that wanting control? And then noticing any wanting security.
Yes.
And then could you release that as well?
Yes, I can.
Okay. And what's another advantage to selling this properties without tenants?
Mm. That is something that my ex wants to do it like that. So then maybe selling the other properties or getting the other properties on my name gets easier. Or
So,
you say that maybe the communication because of that will get easier. Maybe.
okay. So an advantage is that it might be easier.
Yeah, if I do it like she wants, that's or that's more my hope that the communication will get more fluent.
Okay. So easier communication
Mhm.
with X. Okay. And notice, is there any wanting connected to that?
Yes, there is.
Okay. What is it? Wanting control, approval.
One thing, approval, control,
Hmm. Okay.
and also I don't know if that's recognition.
So that would be under approval.
Okay.
Yeah. So notice how much you want approval, whether it's
Yes, I
just
can.
in the form of recognition or um, and And then just for now, could you release that wanting approval?
Yes, I can.
And then notice any wanting control around this communication and for things to be easier.
Yes, I can feel that also.
Yeah, and could you release that as well?
Yes, I can.
Okay. And any attachment to wanting easier communication with your ex, could you release that as well?
Yeah, I can
Okay. And
release that
then
also. Yeah.
what's that?
Yes, I can release that also. Yeah.
Thank you. And then what's another, is there another disadvantage to selling the properties without your tenants?
Yes, that the other two properties that I want to get on my name, that's also with tenants. Then maybe the price of those houses also get higher because I say yes to one property, so I maybe also have to say yes to the other two properties.
So that would be a disadvantage?
Yeah, that's a disadvantage. Yeah.
So that you would make less money? I didn't quite catch what you said.
Yeah, that I have to pay her more money
Okay.
because the other properties gets higher, and if I want to get them on my name, then half is hers, so
So
then
you
it's
would lose
more.
money. You would lose money?
Yes,
Okay. So notice that disadvantage. I might lose money.
yes, I can.
Okay. And then is there any wanting connected to that?
Yes, also.
Okay. What would that be? Wanting control, approval, security, separation, or oneness.
Wanting security, wanting control.
So that wanting security, could you notice how much there is a wanting security, not wanting to lose this money?
Yes, I can.
And could you let that go?
Yes, I can.
And the wanting control, wanting to control how this turns out, how the sale goes, how much money you get. Can you notice
Mhm.
that?
Yes, I can notice that.
And could you let that go for now?
Yes, I can.
And this aversion that I might lose money, could you
Mhm.
release that just for now?
Yes, I can release it for now.
Okay. Yeah. So I am aware, I don't want to, I know this is a complicated situation, and I
Mhm.
want to be mindful of other people that are here as well. When you think about it now, what's here in this moment?
Mm. Insecurity?
Insecurity. That keeps coming up. So let's take a
Mhm.
few more moments noticing this insecurity.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, notice and I invite you to really notice from your heart. Really drop in.
Mhm.
Noticing
Yeah,
how
I can feel.
good, how insecure you might feel about this whole experience. It's really complicated.
Mhm.
And then could you welcome the possibility of security, of being secure, feeling secure?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, could you feel that? Just for now, this welcoming, you know what, however this is going to turn out, I'm going to be secure. gonna be okay.
Yes, I can.
Good. And then noticing any remaining insecurity. Allowing that to be here as much as it is.
Okay.
And then could you allow it to dissolve, to melt? This is just a feeling. Could you set it free and welcome the security that's right on the other side of it?
Yes, I can.
Good. And could you allow that security to be welcomed even more?
Yes, I can.
Could you allow it to grow within you?
Yes, I allow it.
Okay. And could you imagine yourself at the courtroom next week feeling secure?
Yes, I can.
And whatever decision that you decide to make or present, can it come from a place of feeling secure, a place of security?
Yes, I can.
Good. So when we started, that intensity of feeling insecure,
Mhm.
if we give that a 10, we always start with a 10. So 10 being like the most insecure. So a scale of 0 to 10, where is that now? That insecure
I
feeling.
think it's now at 4 or 5.
Okay, great. Great. So I'm going to leave you with this just so I can get to a few other people.
Of course.
I invite you to keep noticing that insecurity and welcoming the security, but also each one of the different times we did the advantages or disadvantages, you mentioned wanting control.
Mhm.
There's a lot of wanting control. So I invite you between now and next week, when you have this court appearance, to keep
Mhm.
welcoming that wanting control and allowing, as much as you can release that. I think that would really help you.
Yeah, thank you for that advice.
You're welcome and good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wish you well. I hope it goes well. Thank you. Okay, I've got some other people here. Is anyone else like some support? Or share a gain or ask a question? Please feel free to raise your hand. Or if there's any request for a group release, I can do that as well. If you just want to be quiet and you want to just type in the chat, I'm up for that as well. Oh, all right. Rosa.
Hi.
Hi, Rosa.
It's
How you doing?
always really good to be on a releasing support call. So thank you for having this.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm so glad you're here. What would you like to do today?
Um, well, I started thinking that I have so many things going on. I don't even know which one I want to release on, but the one that's most at the top, I guess, priority would be to feel um, a sense of everything is going to be okay.
Okay. And what's on the other side of that? What's the sense that's here now?
That I need to move. Um, I need to find a place to move to, an apartment or or a little house.
Mhm.
My wish is to be able to find a little house that I can live in a house because I lived in apartments most of my life and I would love to be able to have a house, even if it's a rental.
Okay.
And but I only have until the 18th because that's when I gave my 30-day notice. And I know because I've done it before that even if I don't find anything, by then I can still pay the difference for the end of the month.
Mhm.
But I would love to be able to find something before
Okay.
that.
Well, I know you said you wanted to look at everything as being okay, and we can certainly do that, but I'd also love to support you in envisioning and bringing in your little house.
Yes, that would be amazing.
Can we do that? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Good. So I'm not sure if you've done how Hale works with people around the goals. Um, but the way we do it is we imagine that goal has been achieved.
Mm.
So I invite you to imagine that you are talking to me right now from your little house.
I got it. I got it. I got
You
what I
you
wanted.
you did it, Rosa. You did it.
Oh,
Yeah. You made it happen. It's just we don't even have to know in this moment how it happened, but it did.
yeah.
So
That brought up a lot of joy.
I could hear it. That's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just whether your eyes are open or closed, just like scanning your little house and imagining it in your mind, like,
Mm.
oh yeah, this is what it looks like outside. This is my little driveway, my walkway, and I've got a little bush in the front. And
Yeah. And I was able to take out my aloe vera plants that I have, about 15.
oh yeah, we've got spots for all your aloe vera plants.
Yes.
Beautiful home for them too. Noticing all your things in this new home. What it feels like. Like, oh, I've wanted to have a little house for so long, and here it is. Just what it's like to sleep in your bed and wake up in the morning, your little, whatever you drink in the morning, your morning drink, and you've got your little spot where you just get to start your day. Maybe you're looking out the window. What would you see? Like taking it all in. This is my home. I'm
I
here.
made it. It's like I made it.
Yeah.
I
Wait.
made it. I'm successful. It
Yes.
works. Releasing works. My belief, I can believe it myself. I
Yes.
can believe that I can have what I want.
Yes. Yes. So welcoming it as if it's happening right now. You might even have a smell. This is what it smells like. These are the sounds.
Yeah, it's the garden that makes it so beautiful. It's the smell, the flowers.
Oh, I
Even,
love that. Beautiful.
yeah, even the
Beautiful.
inside is like, it's cozy. It's like warmth. It's my
Mm.
own place.
Yes, my own place. Just
Yeah,
noticing what that brings up for you. Feels like to be in your own place.
it's safety. It's that
Safety.
safety.
Mm-hmm. So welcoming that safety. So you are doing a beautiful job welcoming your new home. I want to check to see, is there any resistance at all from now until you're going to be there? Anything getting in the way of you finding this new home?
Yeah, it's my past that I've never gotten. Supposedly, I've never gotten what I wanted, but it's
Oh,
not
gotten.
true. But that's so strong. Like, that's so
Yeah.
loud.
There's all these reasons to prove that that's true, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So noticing the story that I've never gotten what I wanted, the story that's getting in the way of this beautiful home that's just ready for you. Yeah. Notice how real the story feels.
It does. It's like, oh my gosh.
Notice how attached you are to the story.
And I could feel it in my body. There was like a lot of tension when I was imagining what I wanted. There was tension
Mm.
in my body, as if my body's also rejecting it.
Yep. So notice, is that feeling still here?
Yeah, a little bit on the back of my shoulders.
Perfect. And if you can touch it and it doesn't hurt, great. And if not, just imagining that sensation. If you can breathe into that space, just to welcome that sensation.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to offer an invitation now that it's not the Sedona method, just to be clear, but it's just
Mhm.
something that I just started doing, and it's always interesting what comes up is when you notice that sensation in the shoulders that came up in response to imagining your new home.
Mhm.
Let's just ask it. There's like a message that maybe it has for us. Noticing that sensation, just like asking it, what do you need from me?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
It's to know that everything is going to be okay. It's
Mm.
fear. It's fear. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
afraid to have what I want. That's true.
mm,
That's really the thing
mhm.
behind it is like I'm afraid to have what I want because it might be a lot of responsibility or it might
Okay.
take something that I don't have.
Was there a worry that you might lose it?
Not that I might lose it,
Okay.
but that I might not be able to handle it, to cope with it, to deal with it. It's like it's too much. Basically, it's too much.
Okay. Okay, good information. So what does Rosa have to say about that? Do you think that's true?
No, it's not true, and I've proven it to myself in the past. I know it's not true, but that's what's showing up.
That's okay. So this idea, this belief that I can't handle it, it's too much.
Yeah.
Could you could you welcome that? Could you allow it to be here as much as it is?
Yes.
These are voices trying to protect you, trying to keep you safe. And so we're thankful for all the things that try to protect us. But do you want to keep believing that you can't handle
No.
it? Okay. So just for now, could you let that go?
Yes.
And would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Okay, good. Any part of that story that's ready to unravel, we invite it to unwind. This is just a story. It's just thoughts. Noticing any part that still believes that I can't do this too much.
Yeah. There's there's grief. There's sadness because that's the story that's kept me from having the things that I wanted, having the
Yeah,
things that I really.
yeah. So just noticing that very well developed, established story. There's maybe volumes of a story,
Yeah.
many books. Those are books we can leave behind when we find this new home. But
Yes. Yes.
yeah, yeah. So could you let this go just for now? This
Yes.
story. And would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Okay, good. Any part of the story that still remains, I invite you to embrace it. I'm literally like hugging myself right now.
Mm,
Like, this has been with you a long time.
yeah.
It's not easy always to let it go. Thank you for looking out for me. Thank you
Yeah.
for trying to keep me safe. But any this remaining, I can't do this too much. Just give it a squeeze, like, oh, you sweet thing.
Yeah.
Are you hugging yourself now?
I am. I am.
Okay, good.
I
So hug
actually am.
yourself, Hug yourself a little tighter, like any part. I don't know. Oh, I can need to squeeze you some more.
Yeah.
Now, with me, could you release this and invite you to open your arms? Release that. Notice how
Yeah.
that feels.
Yeah, that feels lighter.
Yeah, I felt it. And would you set this down? Just go down here. We'll put you in the compost, help fertilize that garden.
Yes.
Yeah, let's put you somewhere else. You've been working so hard. You can do this other, you can make beautiful things grow.
Yes.
So when would you like to
Now,
be free of the story?
now.
Yeah. So again, I invite you to welcome us beyond this story. I invite you to look at this, imagining you're at the walkway to your new home. And all the things that you did to get yourself here.
Mm.
I invite you to just take that in. I did it. For me,
Yeah.
it's time.
Yes.
It's time.
Yes.
And whenever you're ready, you can enter your new home.
Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, good job.
Mm.
Yeah. And I invite you today, whatever time it is where you are, like something tangible to help you move towards where you want to go. I don't know what that is, but maybe you do. Just something to show that, okay, we're taking some steps forward. We're serious.
Mm. Yes.
This is real. We're not joking around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job, Rosa.
Thank you so much.
Maybe
That was so
maybe
beautiful.
maybe next month you will be here and you can tell me where you're at.
Yeah, I will. I will.
Okay. Good work. That was lovely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Kate.
Hi, thank you.
Hi. How are you?
I am okay. Thank you also to Rosa because that's actually very close to the problem I've got. And
Okay.
yeah, so I'm actually without a home. I move from place to place and I rent for a month,
Mhm.
but I'm kind of running out of money. And
Okay.
the reason I'm in this place is that I took care of my mother for 6.5 years. And
Mm.
the short path through the story is I've had to move her into a nursing home because I was told she couldn't go back to the assisted living place that I first moved her to. And so she was forced to move into a nursing home and she's not being taken care of very well. Like they keep mixing up her medication and upping the dosage. So there's just a lot of worry going on. And I guess the question is, how much is it her choice and her path, and how much should I still intervene after all this time? Because she actually sent me on my way and said, no, you go live your own life. And so I've been trying to do that. But at the same time, there's the worry because things don't work out.
Mm. Oh, I hear you. So, what, before I answer those questions, I just want to ask what's here in this moment?
Um, Confusion and yeah, confusion.
Confusion. Where to go, what to do?
Yeah, and also just how much to still invest
Mhm.
so much of myself.
Yeah. Well, what you shared off the beginning of running out of money and not having a home, I would seem to me that Kate needs a little attention right now.
Okay.
We need to get her secure. We need to get her in a
Yeah,
place.
Yeah, I
It's
really enjoyed Rose's experience of living in my new home. So I kind of lived along with that, and I kind of
good.
celebrated I had my own little celebration. But what tugs me sort of into my stuck place is the worry about my mom, because that's just still, at least in my mind, not in a good place. I feel like I just can't until I know she's safe.
Yeah. Ah, and yeah, I hear that. So let's 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 go there because it seems like that's really pulling a lot of your attention.
Yeah, it's kind of both. It's the home and the money. The money, I guess, will come by itself in some manner or way, but it's the home and the mom.
Yeah. How far is she from where you are?
Well, right now I'm about a 10-hour drive away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And based on a situation where she is, if like 10 being the worst, or I guess, yeah, 10 being the worst, the most like issues or, difficulties she's facing, and 0 being like it's like the perfect scenario, what number would you say where the situation where she is right now?
Right now, I would say 7 to 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And are you in daily contact with her?
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you envision, or what are the things that you do to support her or try to make things better?
Um, I
Like
pretty
how
much
much?
I pretty
Yeah.
much tell her not to take the medication because they keep changing it. It's like a different dose every day and they just keep effing it up. I swear to God, I don't know how it happens. But I've spoken to 2 nurses and they've confirmed that they just kill their patients with the medication. And then on top of that, they don't even give her the same dose every day. So whenever I can pretty much tell whenever she's taken sort of an overdose of a med that they're giving her, because then she can barely say one straight sentence. And it's just really frustrating because sometimes she wakes up, she's not quite awake yet, and she just takes a tablet one too many, and then she's a zombie for the rest of the day.
Yeah. And are there other facilities that you've looked at for her?
Not recently, because the assisted living place where she was at, she was so happy. She waited for 2 years. Like we waited for 2 years to finally move her there, and then it was like fantastic. But she had a couple of accidents. She took a couple of falls, and after the last fall, the director said she couldn't come back. And I'm not even entirely sure if that was the truth. They just didn't want the responsibility on them because it was just assisted living. So I
Right, right.
guess they could have taken her back, but like from the hospital, I had to move her directly into the nursing home.
Mm.
So since then, I just figured, okay, well, that's just gonna have to be it. But then the problems with the medication showed up, and it's just nobody's on top of it. The doctors don't care. They just don't see how she reacts to the medication. It's just crazy. So I feel
Yeah,
like, okay, there's a lot of wanting to control. At the same time, I see what happens when I don't control. She's just not well.
yeah. Oh, it sounds like a difficult situation.
It is. It really is. But in part, it's a good thing that I'm kind of far away because otherwise I would just be rushing in and, move her out in the middle of the night. I can see myself break her out. I was talking to Betty
Yeah,
about it. I'm like, I'll put her in a laundry cart, we'll just race her out of there. And I have
right.
all these prison escape fantasies. But I mean, I talked to her today. I'm like, Mama, do you want to stay? She's like, no. So I'm like, well, get my sister, who's not been doing anything so far, get her to take you out. No one can keep you. And it's just not happening. And
Yeah,
I just don't understand.
yeah,
That's the confusion.
yeah. Um, hmm. I mean, it doesn't sound like the best place for her.
It really isn't. And it's one of
And
the nicer nursing homes. It's really one of the nicer ones, but I see how they treat her. They treat her like a heavily demented person. She does have her lapses and she forgets, but she's not heavily demented, and they treat her like that, and it hurts her. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not the way she's supposed to live for the rest of her days here on Earth.
Yeah. So I don't think I'm going to be able to help you solve that situation. I mean, I think finding another place, it'd be great if your sister could help. You know, those are, there's a lot there, but in the time that we have today, I would love to support you, Kate, and having more clarity and being able, you know, like the better equipped you are, the better position you are, the better you're going to be able to help your mom.
Well, exactly. I figure that same thing. Yeah, that'd be great. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I really send love out to your mom. You know, my mom is in an assisted living place now too, and it's
Assisted living is really okay because they still have autonomy. They get to do whatever they want.
yeah.
It's not like, I feel like the nursing home, it's like she's in a permanent hospital. This is what it
Yeah.
feels like. It's awful.
Yeah. Yeah. So just noticing it, you know, whatever, is it still the confusion that's the most prominent, or is that shifted for you?
Hmm. There is wanting to figure out how much to interfere. That was the question that I sort of released on today and that I was kind of working with today. And I was pretty much at a point where I'm like, well, what if it actually is her decision? And what if I'm the one pulling her back? If this is the way she chooses to be, if she really did choose that on some level, then why am I over investing? So it's this, I don't really know how to deal with the situation anymore
Yeah.
because I've kind of given my power to the nursing home, so I don't have any power to make any decisions anymore, especially now that I'm far away. But even if I was there, as long as she's in the nursing home, I can't really decide how they treat her, what medication they offer for her to choose from. I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know what to call it. It is confusion.
Yeah.
It is definitely wanting to control. And I guess it's wanting to figure out how much do I really still need to invest, or is this just it?
Mhm.
Is it her life? Where is my life and where's her life? Or is it still our life? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, just for now, could you let go of wanting to figure it out?
Yes.
Just could you allow that to dissolve?
Yes.
And like we did with Rosa, could you welcome the possibility of a solution arising?
Absolutely. I actually can. I'm surprising myself. Yes.
Good. And with that solution, you know, where you're in a stable place, in a home that you love, and then also imagining your mom in a place where she's getting what she needs.
Yeah.
Just welcoming that solution. Whatever it took to get there, it doesn't matter in this moment. Allowing that to be here. And then again, noticing where we are in present time, the confusion, the struggle, wanting to figure it out. Just all it, to me, it feels like there's just a lot of layers. It's kind of chaotic. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, right.
Just allowing that to be here as much as it is.
Okay.
Allowing yourself to feel this moment, this experience. And then could you welcome the solution,
Yes.
the peace?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, just noticing what that feels like.
Lighter, brighter, spacious.
Yeah. Can you welcome all those things?
Yeah.
And in that spaciousness, Is there any wanting to control?
No.
Is there any needing to control?
Yeah, there is.
There's a needing to control?
There is.
Okay.
In my chest. Yeah.
Okay. So can you notice that sensation?
Yeah.
And could you notice the intensity of that sensation?
It's actually dissolving.
Beautiful. Is there any in this moment right now? If we don't go into memory, is there any resistance?
There is a little bit, yes.
Where?
Sort of in my stomach,
Okay.
to the sides.
Well, let's go there. And if you want to, you can place a hand there or just breathe into that space, noticing the breath rising and falling, or the stomach rising and falling with the breath.
Yeah, that's
Welcoming the sensation.
Yeah, that's dissolving now too.
Very good.
Yeah, it's really ready to go.
Yeah, ready to go. You've been working hard. Noticing once again, is there any other resistance here now?
That's all leaving on its own.
Beautiful, beautiful. And may you welcome the spaciousness,
Yeah.
the peace, the calm.
Ah, it feels nice.
Good. Yeah, but it's always there beneath any apparent resistance. So from this place, from this quiet, still place, I invite you to imagine your future self, that's beyond this apparent problem that we just discussed a few moments ago. And she's now residing in a home that she loves. And her mother is in a good place. From that future self, invite her to look into your eyes, back at you. And is there anything she'd like you to know? Any
To let
words of,
go.
what's that?
To let go.
To let go.
Yeah.
That did not take long for her to let you know. To let go.
Yeah, it's the best advice.
And are you able to do that?
I'm gonna have to, right?
I mean, you can hold on as long as you want.
Well, if the happy self tells me to let go, I think it's the right choice.
So could you?
Yeah,
And would you?
yeah,
When?
now.
Yeah, and just imagine it all the confusion, if there's any remaining, just melting away, dissolving, unwinding.
Yeah,
And can you be open to the possibility that the answers will come?
yes,
Yeah, solutions will come.
yep,
Yeah, they're already here. We just need to catch up with them.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah. You're doing a great job.
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Better, that's better. That was a lot.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do here. We'll see.
Yeah, I had no idea so much of that she was gonna come up. I was like, I thought
Oh,
it was pretty okay and pretty stable.
yeah, no. Well, you're doing great, and just keep, envisioning the much you can envision your mom being in a good place.
Yeah, I do that every day, and this is what feels best to me and what makes me sort of happiest.
And it might not seem like it's action, but it really is powerful, like what we can envision and energetically, you know, bringing in love and support and just that being a guide, the confusion and the chaos, like that's just gonna suck you down. So isn't gonna help anybody.
No, and I really feel like that was just the rest of it flushing out, or like most of the rest of it flushing out. That was just a big flushing out that just happened. Thank you. That was brilliant.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Well, I'm glad you were here and thank you for all that you're doing for you and for your mom. And thank you to everybody that's here today. I always love these calls. I get as much from it as all of you. So yay. And yeah, we'll be here again. We'll be here again next month. So thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. You all have a great day. Much love. Bye.